Hey everybody, it's Brandon and we're back again with the MMBC Podcast, and I'm right here with my good buddy, Pastor Tommy Anthony. Say hi, Pastor.
Hello everyone.
This past Sunday, the pastor did a really cool sermon where he talked about Philip and the Ethiopian man. Hit him with that just a little bit.
Well, it was cool for me. I enjoyed it. We had the sermon built around three questions. Philip asked the first question, and then the Ethiopian guy kind of throws the other two in there. And one of the things I think is important, one of the lessons that I kind of thought we ought to learn from that is be careful about labels. Because all my life I thought about this guy as just the Ethiopian eunuch. And I didn't even know what a eunuch was the first time I read that. But, there's a lot we can learn about him just from what he's labeled and how he's described. He was obviously wealthy. He was a treasurer to Candace the queen. He was someone, perhaps, because this is not really for sure in the text, but someone who had been mutilated as a child, maybe so he would be safe around the female, around the queen, But anyway, the most important aspect of who he was is something we don't often pick up on. He was a God seeker. He had maybe gone on a 500-mile journey to Jerusalem to try to know what was up with God, and he wanted to source it through the Jews. But he didn't find the answers he was looking for in Jerusalem.
I always thought that was neat because I've heard this story and I always think of Philip following God's command and going where God told him to go into the strange place. And sure enough, God put somebody right there, right where they needed to be, right at that moment. And he used Philip. But I never looked at it from the other side of the Ethiopian. He is sitting there reading the scroll, trying to understand God as best he can. And look what happens. Philip comes along to help.
And says, do you understand what you're reading?
Exactly. So what does it say? It says, as Philip, it says, man, you want to do what God says. You want to obey God, and he's going to do incredible things. And on the flip side of that, chase God, and God will chase you.
Yeah, God was seeking him out in this lonely place. I thought about like God can hit a moving target. Here's this guy in his chariot, which, by the way, is an indication, along with the fact that he had a scroll, that he's a man of means. He's powerful, maybe like a politician. How many politicians can you imagine driving down Pennsylvania in their Lexus or their Cadillac, stopping and rolling down the window and asking a street preacher, hey, can you step in here and explain the Bible to me? It just doesn't happen very often.
If you want to hear something really cool, right after you listen to this podcast, check out the pastor's In a Minute Challenge. He kind of gets into it and talks about it there too.
Well, yeah, the In a Minute's a lot of fun. We actually have the whole sermon up on our website as well, don't we?
It will be up sometime this week. I like to have it up either today or tomorrow, but you guys kind of got to cut me a little slack. I'll put it up there as quick as I can this week.
No problem. And this is an unusual week. We will not have our normal prayer meeting. Tell us what we got going on.
The Sweet Tooth Auction. Now, this is something that we do annually. We do it every year. This is a fundraiser for the youth group to help them get to camp.
And some of the kids make some of the stuff, but we also have some really good cooks that whip up some awesome dessert. I made the comment, it's tough to be a Baptist and try to be on a diet.
Absolutely. It's not just some of the kids. Most of the kids, almost all the kids that are going to be there, are going to make something for a dessert, and the ones that aren't making a dessert is probably because you don't want what they would come up with.
Well, but bring your checkbook, bring a wad of cash. This is a great opportunity to bless some kids. Camp has gone up a little bit this year. The kids basically going to pay their same $50 deposit.
$50 deposit.
And we try to give them an opportunity to work off the rest of the cost of summer camp if they'll just participate and show some interest and come alongside of us as we're doing these fundraisers. It shouldn't be that money would be a reason for anybody to miss out on going to camp.
That's right. And with the Sweet Tooth Auction, I know we talked about the students, the youth making some sweets, but we have some sweet tooth geniuses at this church. If you're someone that has a signature dessert or a dessert that you know people are going to love and buy into, make it, bring it, put it up for auction, and let's make some money to get these kids where they need to go.
That's a bittersweet memory for me when you say that, because Miss Hazel Spurgeon, who just recently passed, one of the things I mentioned during her funeral service, her celebration of her life, was the fact that people would pay big bucks for her tea cakes that she would make.
If you're out there and you have that recipe, make those tea cakes and bring them.
That'd be a great way to honor her and bless the kids, yeah.
Sunday, that is our 87th anniversary for this church. Wow.
That's really cool. Yeah, I can brag on that. I've only been here on the very tail end of all that wonderful history in the Lord and in this community, serving God and serving others. But yeah, we're going to have a great time. Bring a friend, come to the worship service, Sunday school, and worship at the same time. But then right after the service, we'll have a hamburger fellowship. And thanks to the deacons and wives for pulling that together.
Yeah, very big shout out. Every year it seems like the deacons throw together some kind of hamburger lunch. And this year we're merging the two of them together so that we don't have to do this potluck with everybody bringing food. All you have to do is show up with an appetite. It is, like the pastor said, a great time to ask a friend to come to church because afterwards we all hang out and they're going to get an opportunity not just to taste the food, but to see how much we love each other.
Taste and see that the Lord is good. This Sunday we'll have baptism for Ashley Richard. Precious person. We're looking forward to that. A great celebration.
It is exciting. This past Sunday, she came to the front to accept the Lord. She said the sinner's prayer. She wants to be baptized. She's joining the church. That gives me goosebumps every time that happens, and it should for any Christian. My favorite part is when the pastor says, who's excited about that? And everybody in the church gets excited. Everybody's happy. At the end of the church, we all line up to shake her hand, to give her a neck hug, or whatever the case may be, to tell her we're so happy that she's part of the family of God and part of the family of this particular church. Ashley, happy to have you.
Well, that's about all we got, I reckon.
One more thing.
What's that?
Jana Fazette.
Oh, absolutely. That's cool news. Tell us about it.
I'm so excited, and so is she. Jana Fazette is starting up at the end of May, the Young Adult Bible Study. I believe we're going to call it The Ark, and we're going to be taking a trip from Genesis to Revelations. Listen, if you're a young adult that is looking for a place to have a Bible study to fit in with like-minded people of the same age, Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock will be the place for you. And some of you say, well, I got kids. I can't just go. Well, guess what? Miss Pam, shout out to you. You have decided to do kids church all through the summer so that these young people will have a place to bring their kids. I want you to listen to that, young people. You got no excuse. We got a place for your kids. We got a place for you to learn together. We are putting it together with you in mind to say, hey, this is for you. This is your thing. Please come and help and make it a success. Also,
that's Wednesday, but what happens Sunday morning?
That's right. On Sunday mornings, we have Melody and Channing. They put on an incredible Bible study for the young adults. We need people to come up and show up in that. Bring your friends. Come on. Let's show them that you're here. Let's show them that you're a part of the church. You're a force to be reckoned with. However you want to say it. Let's show them that we got some young adults that are really interested in learning the Bible and being a part of what's going on.
Yes, that's precious. The Larkins have worked hard on that, and I know it would bless them. It certainly would bless me to see your smiling face. Come join with us Wednesday nights and Sunday morning.
That's starting at the end of May. And you know what? I think that's all we have time for right now. We'll see you right here next week on the MMBC Podcast.